Welcome to some great r/I don't work here lady stories. I hope you had a great day. But first, thank you for subscribing to the channel and for all those likes. Today we have 3 great stories, so let's get right into them, shall we? The first story is called Hello Fred. Quite some time ago, my now wife of more than 15 years and I moved in together and had to set up all the things, cable, internet, phone, etc. We got our home phone number, our 2 cell phones, and we were off to the races. Almost immediately we start getting calls for an establishment that does custom framing and various other art related things. Let's call them Expo for Art. Of course we had caller ID and we had friends that would call us. But inevitably, if we didn't recognize the number, it was someone wanting to find out if the order was complete, or the frame was done, or what the hours were, or any of 1,000 other questions. I'm sure anyone else who had this happen will recognize this exchange. Sorry, that's no longer their number. This is our residence. Yes, I'm sure. No, I'm not giving you my address. No, I don't know their new number. Yes, I have a phone book, but so do you. Eventually, we changed the message on our answering machine to say, this is not, I repeat not, Expo for Art. If you are trying to reach Expo for Art, please hang up, look up their number and try that, because we aren't them. Eventually, I got my gazillions call and I asked the person on the other end of the line where they keep getting this number. Well, it's printed on my receipt. I guess I just have to call this other number. Any chances you can give me that one? Thanks, I'll call it. Hello, Expo for Art. You guys are still giving out my home phone number on your receipts. Yeah? So? Well, stop it. It's been at least a year since you haven't had that number. At least cross it out or something. That's a pain. I'm not making my employees do that. So you are the manager? I'm the owner. So let me see if I have this right. You, what was your name again? Let's call him Fred. You, Fred, have decided that it's too inconvenient to cross my home phone number off of your receipts? So you are just going to keep giving it out? Yep, what are you gonna do? Sue me? Maybe. Whatever, I've got stuff to do. Bye. I called a lawyer, didn't really have a leg to stand on. I went to the store and asked for Fred. Fred's not here. He's hardly ever here really. You want me to call him? Nah, I'm fine. I know this is going to sound odd, but is there any chance I can see one of your receipts? She picks up a receipt book and shows it to me. Sure enough, it's got my phone number at the top, above another one. I say, I thought so. I couldn't get you at the other number. Some guy yelled at me, and I didn't have my old receipt, so I had to come down here. We've been having that happen a lot, ever since Fred decided we didn't need 2 phone lines. But he had just bought like 20 boxes of these receipts books and business cards, and he's too cheap to buy more until they run out. I'd hate to be that guy. So I went home and hatched my evil plan. The next phone number I didn't recognize, I said, Hello, Expo for Art. Hi, this is Mary Smith. I dropped off a thing last week to be framed. Is it ready? Let me check. Yes, we finished it this morning. I hope you don't mind, but we decided to upgrade the matting because of the weight of the piece. It's the same color, and we won't be charging you for it, since it was my decision. Oh, thank you. I'll be down to pick it up later today. What time do you close? I looked down at the business card with my number and the hours clearly marked 11 to 4. Take your time, we'll be here until 7. Thank you so much. Can you tell me how much that was? $19, ma'am, plus tax. Wow, that's cheap. Are you sure? Of course. If anyone has a problem, tell them you talk to Fred. Okay, see you around 6. See you then. Thank you for calling Expo for Art. For weeks, I kept giving out completely random information. I can only imagine the number of angry people who showed up to pick up orders that weren't ready. And when they finally were given a price way higher than what Fred had told them over the phone. Eventually, someone let slip that they called the number on the receipt and that's what Fred had told them. Fred was not happy. He called me and I said, Hello, thank you for calling Expo for Art. This is Fred. He started to scream. You are not Fred. I am Fred. Are you trying to put me out of business? Why Fred? Whatever do you mean? Someone has been giving prizes to my customers and telling them the orders are in when they are not due for weeks. Well Fred, who called them? Nobody called them. They called us. If someone called you and got pricing information, that would seem to be your problem. They didn't call me. They called you. Well, how would that happen? Your number is on my receipts and business cards. It seems to me there's a very simple solution here. Take my number off of your receipts and business cards. Do you have any idea how much promotional material costs? Is it more than it costs to do these jobs for the prices you are quoting? Is it more than it costs to lose customers or less than that? This is extortion. Call it what you want, Fred. The choices and consequences are entirely up to you. A week later, I get another call. Hello, Expo for Art. This is Fred. He screamed again. I have ordered new receipt books and cards. Can you please stop this? Sure. Bye, Fred. The next story is called Definitely for the Best. I worked as a hostess during college at a big chain restaurant that had a huge staff. My location was the management training location for our region, so we had a lot of new managers cycling in and out. Most of them were promoted servers or bartenders from different locations and had no management experience prior to this. I never loved working at this location, as a lot of the new managers were on a little bit of a power trip. So after a year of being berated for issues that were completely out of my control, I finally got a new job and put in my 2 weeks notice. I handed it directly to our general manager, thanked her for everything and was set to leave on good terms with the company. Fast forward 2 weeks and I received a notification that my schedule was set for the following week. I called the restaurant and reminded the on-duty manager that I was no longer an employee and they would need to put someone else on to fill my spot. They apologized and moved on. Another 2 weeks pass and I get the same notification. I once again call the restaurant to remind them. They again apologize. Before I hang up, I say something along the lines of, make sure you make a note of this because I am going to be out of country next week and I won't be able to call if this happens again. They agree and we end it there. So this is where it gets dramatic. I'm on vacation in Spain and I get a string of angry texts from a new manager at the restaurant, reminding me that I'm 5 minutes late and if I don't arrive in the next 5 minutes, I'll be written up. I text back, saying, sorry, I know you're new, but I put in my 2 weeks over a month ago. I don't know why I'm still on the schedule. The new manager replies, saying that although that may be the case, it is absolutely unacceptable that I'm missing a shift I'm scheduled for. And if I don't come in, I'll be written up and in a bad standing with the company. I respond explaining that I'm out of country and although I'm sorry for the situation, I'm no longer an employee and there's nothing I can do to help. I then receive a string of at least 15 messages back to back. And let me tell you, they were the most unhinged messages I have ever read. They went from calling me unprofessional to an arrogant brat. Mind you, I never worked with this woman. She started after I left. She accuses me of lying and being lazy, saying that if I quit a job you need to give notice and I should be ashamed of what I have done to the restaurant. Of course, I took screenshots of the conversation and sent them to one of the other managers. Last I heard was that she was suspended and then demoted back to her original position at a different location. Definitely for the best. The last story is called He Does Work There Now. The management company that oversees my apartment building has always been total crap. Packages go missing from the mailroom, repairs take forever, staff are unfriendly, not at all worth what we pay in fees. There was only one solid employee and he almost made up for everyone else's incompetence. The janitor, Juan. He kept everything sparkling clean and even pitched in when other people slacked off, helping with repairs, ID checking in the lobby and more, just because he took pride in the building. Then the corporate oversight of the management company changed and the new boss was having all the properties inspected to do a quality spot check on the individual building managers. Our manager, the winner that he is, decided the best course of action would be to not come in the day of the oversight visit, so that it would have to be cancelled. The hope was that the checker would just inspect what he could without a manager on site, which wasn't much. My apartment has terrible cell reception and no AC, so I spent a ton of time downstairs in the lobby, which has both. I was able to overhear most of the planning for this visit as a result. Our janitor Ron knew too, and he was spiffing everything up like new in excitement. Fixing a few broken things the repair guys ignored and even bringing in fresh cut flowers to the lobby out of his own pocket. Ron dressed up in a collared shirt and khakis for the visit. He didn't know the manager was bailing, I just heard it hanging out in the lobby late one night. So when the corporate inspector arrived, Ron was the only guy he saw. He was dressed up. So the inspector shook his hand and started rattling off the things he wanted shown to him. Juan knows this building better than anyone else on the staff, so you could tell he was a little overwhelmed at being seen as the point person. But he knew the answers to every one of the inspector's questions. Meanwhile, a few tenants and contractors who frequent the building passed and all knew Juan brought him concerns about their apartments. Those on the staff who knew we were being inspected even made a point to say, Juan is the guy if you got a problem. So the end of the inspection must have come, because they recongregated in the lobby. The inspector told Juan he wanted to get his full name, so he could make a note in his employee file of how well he's run the building so far. and that he would like to meet him later in the week to discuss fixes to the problems he has found. Ruan, shocked, is like, "You want to meet with me again?" And the inspector is like, "Sure, I'm looking forward to our long working relationship. I like to meet with each building once a month. Sorry, what was your name again for the file?" Ruan told him, and the inspector goes, "Hold on, I thought someone called Eddie was the manager here." And Ruan explained, clearly embarrassed and scared he'd done something wrong, that he is not the manager. The manager didn't come in today. The inspector then went and spoke with a few people in the building on his own, while Ruan absolutely lost it in the lobby, thinking he was going to be fired or get the building censured or something. Eventually, the inspector comes back and he sits Ruan down and tells him he might not be the manager in title, but he's manager in action. So if he wants it, he's got a new job. The man cried. Ruan's been working as a contractor for a janitorial service, not directly for the building. So no benefits, considered part-time, very little job security or support. And he'd just gone from that to a cushy office job in the building he loves in the blink of an eye. I was sitting on the couch a few spaces down from them. The lobby has a sitting area with tables and chairs and couches. And I felt compelled to ask before anyone got too excited, "Hey, excuse me, can you do that? Or could someone veto this?" Because I hated to think Ruan would be so excited, only to have some sort of bureaucracy or old boys club shut down his promised opportunity. The inspector turns to me and informs me he's the new COO of the management company and final hiring decisions are at his sole discretion. Then he asked who I was, and I basically said I was just leaving and I went out of there before my big mouth complicated things any further. This week Ruan started officially. We've got flowers in the lobby every day now, and that ripping faucet I've been waiting 6 weeks to have fixed is scheduled for repair on Thursday. He didn't work there, but he does now. And with that, we end today's video. Let me know what you think about the stories. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the stories and today's video? I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day. Stay safe. Bye bye.